Welcome to the Hard Rap Cafe. I'm your host, Rocky Dennis. On this week's episode, co-hosted by Smoke God, I'll be interviewing the legendary DJ and producer Jay Swiftz, originating out of East New York and coming of age in 1980s Brooklyn, waking up to gunshots. Raised in close proximity to AZ and Jeru The Damaja. From childhood friendships to industry relationships, such as Papoose, DR Period, Busta Rhymes, Fresher, Boot Camp Clik, and Wiz, just to name a few. And his first record deal with Payday Records and label mates Group Home, before moving to Virginia and continuing his music legacy. So tune in as we tap in with Jay Swiftz. All right, man, here we go. My man, Jay Swiftz, man. Welcome to Hard Rap Cafe, brother. It's been a long time coming. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm maintaining, you know, do what I do. How your brothers doing?
Jay Swiftz.
What up?
All right, Jay Swiftz, my nigga, man. Long time no hear from, man.
Yeah, for sure. What's good with y'all?
Man, holding it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Last time I seen y'all was when we was doing our little 1-2, you know what I'm saying, at my old crib up in the beach.
Yeah, we want to get the killer tape, man, the infamous.
Yeah.
We want to let the people know who you are, man. So if you could give a little background on where you from and where you came up at.
I'm from Brooklyn, East New York to be exact. Jay Swiftz, a lot of cats know me by Jay. So I came down to Virginia back in the 80s. Came to visit some family members, and at this time I was still dipping and dabbing to figure out, you know, as a young youth, what I'm trying to be in life. And music just always been my, you know, my go-to thing, man. You know, my sense of relaxation, you know what I'm saying, and the better lack of words, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, Jay Swiftz out of East New York, Brooklyn.
So you say you touched down in Virginia in the 80s. What was Brooklyn life like before you left? You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's the same thing like it's going on right now. A bunch of chaos, man. You know, as I got more wise and older, you know, I wanted to stray away from all the wildlife, you know what I'm saying? And that's why at the time, the sister I was with when I had my son, we migrated down here. It was a different atmosphere compared to New York. You know, I got tired of my son going to school and hearing the sirens. I used to actually wake up to gunshots at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when I knew it was time to get up. So that's how it was in Brooklyn.
Where exactly in Brooklyn were you located?
I was in East New York. So I lived right around the corner from AZ, Jeru The Damaja. Then so on, when I came back down here, I discovered that, you know, a lot of more people from the East. You know, you got Young M.A., you got Uncle Murder. It's just so many people from East New York. It's so many to name, but yeah, I'm from East New York.
Yeah.
So okay. For my projects, you know, you got Fresher. You know, I know Fresher. Fresher is related through family, and then his little cousin, which is I forgot his little cousin name that be singing and stuff too. But there's a whole bunch of them cats around from the Bambas. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Speaking of such, I got to visit. I mean, I got to meet a couple people through you. You know what I'm saying? And the homies from East New York. You know. Speaking of such, we're gonna get into this topic a little bit later. I know Danger was gonna bring it up, but I just wanted to know is Papoose from East New York? What part of Brooklyn he from?
Pap is originally from Queens, but then Pap moved to Bainbridge. He's from Brooklyn. He's from more like Bed-Stuy area. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So yeah, Pap is from there, from that area. You know, a lot of cats. So East New York and Brownsville is pretty much like how you cross over to Hampton and Newport News, like one street. That's how East New York and Brownsville is. But Pap is more like down, going towards a little bit downtown, like where Jay is from.
Did you have any relationships with any artists in New York before you left, or did that come later?
Nah, before I left. Majority everybody I have relationships with is when before I left down here.
Oh, okay. And who were some of the artists that you know came across? I know you named some names, but did you actually work with or build with when you was in New York?
Yeah, man, it's a lot. Bus, You know what I'm saying? Busta, plus AZ, I'm trying to see. It's just so many, man, and this is so far long ago. You know, a lot of the boot camp cats. Those, I mean, some of them is actually really family members. So it's too many. There's too many people to list off the top of my head. I would have to actually write it down to see. But that's a good question.
You was also in a group back in the early '90s with another one of my homies from East New York off of Shotfield.
Who that?
The homie Wiz. What's up?
Amar. Yeah, he changed his name to Amar Pep. Wiz, I speak to Son every day. It's funny you mention him. Yeah, so me and
y'all have a deal with Pat? And y'all had like a little.
We had a deal. We had Payday Records. Exactly. We had a deal with Payday Records. The same, and actually, Jeru The Damaja was the one that actually plugged us in with that, because Jeru was on our label. You know, shout out to Dino Davalle. You know, Dino believed in us and gave us the situation. But yeah, so we definitely did have a deal with Payday Records. You know, I'm behind a lot of people's careers. I just don't, you know, flop the gas or talk about it because I don't. That's, you know, I just do stuff from the heart, man. You know what I'm saying?
And we know that, but that's why we're here to talk about, you know, some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, what's up with with the homie Wiz? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know, but that was a homie too. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, like, he had a very unique voice. To me, he was kind of pigeonholed because he sounded like Rakim. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Not just, he was sort of like Sean. He just didn't rap like him, but his voice, just regular talking, was like Rakim. So it was kind of like, that was everybody kept saying. So he was kind of pigeonholed. I feel like that's kind of why he didn't really take off, maybe. And then he kind of just fell back, it seemed like, and you kind of kept going with the music. Is that true, or did he still keep pushing? Because
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
So Amar's still definitely doing this thing. Amar's actually Wiz. So and I just wanted to let people know. So he's definitely doing this thing. He did some production on AZ. You know what I'm saying, on AZ first album. There's a lot to that. I would get into that later. But that's my homie. That's my childhood friend. So we speak on not every day, every other day, and we just, you know, have a little dialogue or whatever. But for the most part, he's still active doing this thing. Right now, he wrote a book. He very into health and fitness and, you know, stuff like that. So he's doing this thing. He's still doing music. You know, we just had a conversation just last night. We just talking about the music thing, but. He's still active. Amar definitely he's always been wicked with the pen, you know what I'm saying? He did some behind the scenes stuff too, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I could get y'all to interview him and he could tell y'all his story. I could definitely line that up. But
definitely.
Yeah, but he's definitely doing this thing though. But go ahead, bro.
So listen, bro, let me ask you this: staying in New York and dealing with the some of the relationships that you built musically, do you remember your first placement on a project and how did that make you feel?
My first placement actually was Amar. It made me feel good because probably before we had to deal with Payday Records, we actually punched up our own records, which called a record called Escape from East New York. So we did that, recorded. I actually did the beat. Amar did one side, I did the other side, and then we just actually we pressed that up, and then from there, that's what people started, because people knew about the chemistry that me and him had. Because with him came from his crib came AZ. You got King Shaheed. King Shaheed was the one who introduced me to Latif. So you got King Shaheed, you got Top Dollar, which is from Brownsville. You know, you got Shabar. It's so many people that actually came from that house that branch off to do their own thing, and I'm still in contact with a lot of them. So, you know, Amar crib was actually the one that had everybody bridged there.
Wasn't like there was an issue with Latif getting like a placement on AZ first album?
Yeah, he did.
He had moved to Manhattan.
He did a joint on AZ, but I don't think he actually did a joint with AZ and Nas, but it didn't make the album.
Yeah.
So he definitely been around. Like Latif is definitely a pioneer, you know. So the more we get into it, man, so many other names that will come up, you know, in the history with that, you know, because then you got to talk about DR period, you know what I'm saying, which is who I actually met Pap through, you know what I'm saying. So it's just so much history through the whole dynamics of the music, you know what I'm saying. So
you, Plex, and Latif had a strong bond back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all fed off each. I just remember y'all three of y'all feeding off each other. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because you spoke of Plex. I heard this little story he did on here, and that's not exactly what happened, but we get into that.
No, let's get into it right now. So, what discrepancies you might have?
First, start from the beginning. Your story from you meeting Plex, and start from there.
Okay. So, pretty much everybody that I met here in Virginia, it migrated from my cousin. Everybody, Miles C, everybody, it all originated from my cousin.
And who would your cousin be?
My cousin is Cassine. So Cassine, everybody that I met, I built my own rapport with them. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of them he had conflict with, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. So majority they was his friends and all that. So when I came down here. In the summertime, you know, I used to come down here with my 1200s. You know, I used to do my little tricks and stuff in his room and all that. This is when he was staying in the gardens, Glen Gardens. So he introduced me to THIK. And then me and THIK would build our own little rapport, you know what I'm saying? And then THIK came to me one day. He was like, yo, man, you can't mess with my man. You can't mess with my man. I'm like, man, you know, at this time, you know, coming from North and then coming from South, you know, you get this thing like everybody from the South with slopes. So I'm like, man, who your man? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, my man Plex. So I'm like, man, he's like, yo, I'm gonna take you to his crib. I said, come on, man. So I'm mad cocky because I'm already, you know, deep in with the tricks and all that stuff. And you know, last thing I'm thinking, I'm like, niggas ain't doing that type of shit I'm doing. So, you know, I go to Plex crib or whatever. I remember the day he had no shirt on. He the only nigga I know that has stretch marks, a skinny nigga with stretch marks on his body. And I always tell that story, I laugh at him, but that's my homie. So we go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Remember he had the turntables on the little bar joint. And he said, yo, you spin? I said, yeah. He said, yo, you want to battle for $20? He said, we could battle, but you got to go first. I said, all right, I'll go first. So I went through his records. And I got the K Solo Spellbound. And then I did my routine that I normally do. And he looked and he said, man, I don't want to battle, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we could just be friends, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how it happened. He tell y'all we battle for some DJ stuff. No, it was for $20. He said he wanted to battle for $20. And he lost that $20, even though I ain't never get it. But that's just true story.
So it was a classic case of if you can't beat him, join him.
Right, and I've been my homie ever since. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is what I'm saying, the dynamics of that. So with Duplex came the whole crew did. You know what I'm saying? I met Ra, E.O.O. But actually, let me back up. I met a lot of them prior to Plex because again, all these was Cassine friends. You know what I'm saying? And because, you know, I built my own rapport with them, you know, and I still have relationships with a lot of them that, you know, God bless his soul, that he might have differences with, but I still kept my dignity and still kept my respect. And that's why a lot of them cats, I still have rapport with them to this day because of that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't happy about a lot of that shit that was going on because of the fact that I was put in a situation because the differences he may have with individuals, they was cool with me. So I'm like, damn, you know, and I was in between because that's my family, but these are my bros. I consider my bros, and it's like I was in between. It was hard.
Man, let me say one thing right fast. So all I want to ask you, Swift, is so your cousin being known basically as the motherfucking boogeyman in the city, bro. I mean, that's just the reality of it now. So what I want to ask you is, but the people that the conflicts were with, some of them, they not like slouches or none of that shit. How are you able to fucking do that, bro? How are you able to maintain a relationship with those that, you know, might not have seen eye to eye with cuz and just, you know, still progressing and doing your thing, bro? And we all, you know, got love for you, bro, and fuck with you regardless. How did you do that, bro?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing that I noticed, I always bear for myself, I always had respect. And I think that a lot of that came from I wasn't picking and choosing sides. Like a lot of people don't know, I used to go to war with my cousin and my brother for things that, you know, I heard that they have done. And these was homies that I was so tight with that. I'm like, yo, man, y'all niggas bugging, man. Like, y'all doing shit to people that I really fuck with like that. So it was behind the scenes that a lot of people didn't know that, damn, this nigga Swift really going in on his family because of us, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't happy about a lot of that because a lot of them cats I met through him. And a lot of cats I built rapport with, you know what I'm saying? Even though I heard a lot of things that was going on, I wasn't happy about it, you know what I'm saying? I would call your son, what up? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Nah, son, blah, blah. Yo, come on, man, you know what I'm saying? And it hurt me because a lot of people perish. A lot of people that I have great rapport with is no longer here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying because of him, but it's just the fact that a lot of these cats I met through him, you know what I'm saying? And some are still here and some isn't. But it hurts me to my heart because I never pick and choose sides. So it got to a point where people was come up to me like, yo, son, I can't stand your brother and your cousin. Well, I love you, man. And I understood that because it's like, I understand their position. Like, damn, I can't really do nothing to them because this dude right here, and it was the same to them. Like, I can't really do nothing because Jay, you know what I'm saying, fuck with them niggas. Like, and it was hard. It was a hard situation, but I think the trust and the genuine love and never changed. And that's why people like, you know what, man, at the end of the day, it's a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? I just seen, it's funny you said that because I don't know the whole detail what happened with some of the things that happened in the past. And I don't really want to name drop, but I seen an individual recently and I was, I braced him like, yo, what up? Bye-bye. And, and it probably was a little awkward because later on I found that they had a little conflict. But I'm like, nigga, I'm not going to change because y'all situation ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to still be the same dude. And I think that's where the genuine love came from. When a person see that, like, damn, even though me and this dude cousin was beefing, he never pick and choose side. I wasn't one of those type of dude like, okay, I'm going to rock this nigga to seep the game. Nah, that wasn't what I was on. If you know me for certain individual things, that's just who I was all across the board.
Do you think that your family relationships and upbringing had something to do with how you were able to deal with that? Like, what's your family life like, you know what I'm saying, as far as your upbringing? You know what I mean? Were you close with your parents, you know what I mean, aunts and uncles and things of that nature?
Bro, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. My situation is just like the average, some people's situations, you have struggles. I think for me, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations in life. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a lot of good homies that looked out for me, whether young or older, you know what I'm saying? And because they knew that I was talented, they knew that I had a goal in mind, they knew that they see the potential, and they was just more like, yo, you know what, this is a good dude. So they would brace me in. They were like, yo, this is my little man right here. Or even though I was older than them, they still would call me little man, but they're like, yo, this is my little man right here. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna happen to him. And that followed me throughout my years of my life, like even to the point where as I got older, it's still like that. Even when I go home to Brooklyn, cats I ain't seen, oh, yo, what up? And it'd be the same love. It's never been somebody had to second guess me. It's always been the genuine. And that's what I love about myself, because even when I met y'all guys, it was just genuine love. I ain't pick and choose. I ain't getting in the middle with none of that, because that wasn't my thing. My thing is if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. You ain't gotta never think like, yo, this nigga Jay on some. It never been like that. But my upbringing was very challenging. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it because it made me be the person I am today as a grandfather and as a father. So I'm very grateful for that, and a genuine good brother and a good friend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for all that I went through in life and still be the person I am today.
Speaking of grandfather, shout out to your son.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you a quick story, right? My son was so very secretive that I didn't even know that he was making beats. I used to go on Instagram and I got a homie, my little man Rashad, and I was like, yo, who the hell is J.R. Swift? I never knew who that person was. And then I was just talking to Rashad one day on the phone. He's like, yo, nigga, you don't know what that is? I'm like, nah. He said, nigga, that's your son. I said, my son, who? He said, that's Jaquan. I said, oh, I never knew he took on my name, my DJ name. You know what I'm saying? I never knew he took that on. And I was so honored that he did that. And because him and his mother, I separated, so they was still doing their own. They was with their moms. I was doing my thing, and we wasn't really in contact. So, he was just doing stuff secretive, and now, we actually going to be doing some things together, you know, a project and stuff. So there's a lot of things that we get to talk about. But yeah, I never knew that was him until one of my homies told me.
You spoke about picking Spellbound as the record you used to take Plex down, right? So now it's a record that was made, and it made me think about it because of the Spellbound thing, called Alphabetical Slaughter. That was made by Papoose. Can you tell me your recollection of how that record came about?
So, I'm gonna have to give you a little bit of history. So let me go back before we could get to that. All right. Prior to me meeting Pat, I had another artist named Jinx the Juvie. Jinx the Juvie at the time was 13 years old. My little man profile, because I had a little crew of MCs. You know, I had Rise and Shine. You know what I'm saying? I had my little man profile. You know what I'm saying? And I had Jinx. I met Jinx. So profile sounded too much like AZ. You know, another two cats, Un and Bashar, which is Bashar wound up being on AZ album. But they sounded identical to AZ. You know, AZ had this whole persona about him and all that. So a lot of cats wanted to sound like him. So when I met Jinx, you know, I'm like, yo, this little dude is nice. So I would go around and have him battle. So you know, and one day we went down to DR Period Studio out in Bushwick, and same thing. I would sick Jinx on them, but this particular time, I heard of Papoose, but I wasn't really privy of his music because DR was still working on him. But because I had a rapport with Smooth the Hustler and Trigger and Divvy Elias Christ, I had a rapport with them already. So when I took him Jinx down there, you know, I wanted, you know, Jinx to kind of battle Pat. You know what I'm saying? But when he heard Pap, it was like he changed his mind. He's like, nah. But to get to the Alphabetical Slaughter, that was a project that Pap was actually writing. And to be honest with y'all, that is actually an old song because he did it already with DR Period, but it never really came out. There's probably like a white label circling around on the internet or whatever. But I remember when he was writing it, he was still penning. You know what I'm saying, the numbers, because I think he was at the time when I met him, he was probably up to maybe G or something like that, and he had stopped. So how I became intertwined with Pap is when I had a little P&D deal with Unique Records up in Long Island, and I wound up getting a deal for Jinx single, and I wound up doing Jinx single, which is called I'm the Future.
What years is this that you speak? The years of that you talking about as these are taking place? Okay,
I think for Jinx, is probably like 91, 92. I met Pap early on. I met Pap because before I actually moved to Virginia, I would just come down here periodically for the summertime to visit. So I would go back and forth. So I would come down in the summer with the turntables, and then I would go back to New York. So at this time, I knew DR because DR actually did a B-side of the Payday joint when we did the Payday single with Amar, which is Wiz.
Yeah.
DR did the B-side, which is called Across the Street from the Projects. DR, I was introduced to DR because DR, when I met DR, his name used to be Daryl D. His producer name used to be Daryl D. So my man, King Shaheed, he told us, me and Amar, because he was working with Shaheed, he told us, like, yo, I got this dude named Daryl D. He's nice, you know what I'm saying? So we wound up going to Homie House, you know what I'm saying? When we went over there, we was just talking. At this time, they only gave us like 10,000, 15,000 for the single. Me and Amar did the first side, which is I did the Melody Mac joint, which is I did that on the EPS, and then we needed a B side, and that's what DR wound up doing. He wound up doing it for a very low price, and that's how we wound up coming with the single. We did that, but I built my own rapport with DR because he's like, yo, this dude's nice, like, you know what I'm saying? And at this time, I didn't even have an MP. I was just doing everything on the ASR 10, the regular one, not even the 16 plus. And that's exactly how we did the deal. But everything, that's why I said so many layers. Like, if you talk about DR Period, then it's going to be a Papoose, then it's going to be Smooth, it's going to be Trigger, you know, so everybody there's a dynamic to the whole thing as we speak upon it.
So Papoose, this goes back to 91, 92. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I knew Papoose that long.
Okay.
The reason why Papoose started messing with K Slade because I moved back to Virginia. So that's exactly why that's when Papoose started messing with K Slade, because everywhere I went to the labels, I had Papoose with me, I had Jinx with me. I used to go with a whole bunch of MCs. Pap had his little crew, the Duggication. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I said, so many layers to stuff, man.
So listen, I'm staying on this alphabetical slaughter, right? Because I saw an interview recently. Now, the clip I saw it's probably a couple of years old, but it was a Vlad TV interview with Papoose. And he definitely shouted you out. And Vlad asked him about the alphabetical slaughter, and he said that, like you just said, it's the old joint he had. He was only up to a certain letter. He would use it to battle niggas. But why I bring this up is because we have an MC in THIK by the name of Evil Lens. He did the Iron Curtain project, which was released in 99, but a lot of the records were recorded in earlier years. Now, it's always been, we always looked at it as, for lack of a better term, Pat bit the motherfucking arranged article shit from Evil Lens, because he had the A to Z back and forth shit, and we never really heard that before. Evil Lens was probably 15 when he recorded this. The year that
this is in 95.
95. So that's why I'm asking you. So you clearing it up? Like Papoose had that fucking record.
Pap Ben had it. When I met Pap, I got, and actually in my storage, I got old records of Pap that never came out. So I know for a fact, and I'm not saying that because that's my homie, Pap had that. I never heard the other brother A to Z, but I knew Pap had that because, like you said, he was battling people with the A to Z. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could very vouch for that. It just and it's sometimes in life, man, great minds think alike, man.
That's real. That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be like, yo, let me try to do something like this. And then he started working on the Z to A. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Pap is a very talented dude. It's just like he just never got his just due. But what I would say is that there's a lot of cats that I feel that was left behind that's ill, but either they not even rapping no more, they just doing something else. And Amar has been one of them, but Amar, which is weird, his pen game is wicked. Just like y'all guys is wicked. Like I always be like, yo, when I first heard you guys, I was like, yo, these cats is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
man, that shit means a lot, bro. That shit mean a lot, bro. You are very connected. You know what I'm saying, musically and industry-wise. For those of y'all that do not know, this brother right here, like he said earlier, is responsible for a lot of people's careers. And with that being said, do you feel like you get the accolades or, you know what I'm saying, the credit for what you have done, and does it matter?
Nah, it don't really matter to me, because what I do from the heart. I don't expect anything back, because, when again, like I said, there's so many layers. Like when you talk about Pap, then you got to talk about G-Rap, because I'm the one that introduced Pap to G-Rap. You know what I'm saying? And as well as Jinx the Juvie and another little homie named Ike and for Diamond. So a lot of that stems for me, and I'm only speaking upon it because it's out there now. But before it was hitting, like, yo, I heard some of the interviews, son. Me and Pap had our little differences, but we good brothers right now. So now he's giving me, my props. Like, yeah, Swift was up behind a lot of things, and it wasn't like I was asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could sit here and tell you a lot of people I probably don't even know I was behind, but I don't care about none of that. They know. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if I can help somebody else to get to the next level, and I did it from the heart, that's my blessing. Whether you want to do something for me or not, I'm cool with that, because I know what I've done from the heart. And that goes the same way with the respect. That's why you said with the things that was going on with my cousin and a lot of family, a lot of dudes, is just the respect that I have for them. And that's what took me a long way with a lot of cats.
Let me ask you this. Coming from all of that musical history and fucking influence that New York has had on, music, period. You know what I'm saying? What was it like coming to Virginia and hearing, the MCs in Virginia, man, what went through your mind? How did that hit you? You know what I'm saying? What was the comparison like? You know what I mean? Because it's some lyrical fucking monsters that you are part of, bro. You know what I'm saying? You already mentioned Cool G fucking Rapp, man. And goddamn, you know what I'm saying? And some of these guys, how did that hit you, man?
So when I came to Virginia, you know, like I said, I think me and Plex actually started getting I might have got in production way before Plex, you know what I'm saying? But because again, a lot of cats that I knew, I ain't never knew that rap. Like I ain't knew Rashad Rapp, Rapp. I ain't knew, you know, E-Rap. I used to see them dudes out in Glen Gardens or whatever, or you know, or Woodstock or whatever. And I used to just deal with them, but I never knew they rap. So I went to. I was about to call him Randy.
Well, that's what he said. He said that's what you call him too.
Yeah. I was about to go to his. I was going to his crib, right? And I remember he was playing some joints with me. I'm like, yo, who the hell is that? He's like, yo, that's Rod E. I'm like, Rod? He's like, yeah, Rod. That nigga, I ain't know that nigga rap. He's like, hell yeah. Now then I'm hearing him. And I'm saying like, oh shit, Mad Rugged. I'm like, yo, these niggas is nice. I knew Troy, because I remember I watched Troy joint, and I remember I forgot that he rapped. But like I said, all them cats, Troy, you know, it's so many of them like that passed away that, you know, and it hurts because I have rapport with them dudes. You know, right. Dex, you know what I'm saying, Dexter, you know what I'm saying, his brother, like all them cats I have great rapport with. I would go back and forth in New York, and then I would hear, you know, people that was passing on, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, yo, you know, I would get called like, yo, such and such passed away. Like Swill, I this is no lie. Before Swill had passed away, I saw him at a club in Virginia Beach. And at this time, him and Cuz was, you know, had their little thing. But again, it was the same thing. Yo, nigga, what up? I seen him in the club, we dap. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, he got killed. And I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like there's so much history stemmed from Cuz. That's why the people he was beefing with, it was killing me, because I'm like, I got great rapport with these dudes. It's like, if they were actually seeing each other, I would be being the one in the middle, like, nah, y'all niggas bug, y'all ain't nothing going down. And there's been conversations like that, and been situations like that I had to intervene, like, ain't nothing going down, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And my brother and my cousin would get mad at me because they feel like I'm picking choosing them, but it's like, nah, that's my dude. Like, y'all niggas ain't gonna sit here and try to kill each other off. When I'm here, that's not gonna happen. I don't care what y'all do when I'm not here. When I'm here, ain't nothing going down. And that's where the standard of respect went, like, damn, you know, this nigga really fuck with us, you know what I'm saying? And so when I was hearing a lot of these dudes that was passing on, it was killing me because I had rapport with them, man.
Speaking of Swill, the last time you said you seen Swill in the club in Virginia Beach. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you noticed or not, but the night Swill got killed was in the club out in Virginia Beach. That might have been the last.
And you know
at Donzi's. That was the name of the spot.
What was the spot over off of Independent? It was a club over there.
That was
Donzi's.
Yeah, so it might have been that night. I don't even know.
Night.
Yeah. I seen him in the club. I seen them be dapped at each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I know him and Cuzzo had their little beef. But again, he was another one that fucked with me. Like, yo, man, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and we dabbed, we gave each other a hug, and like, yo, I'll see you later. And we bounced. Because at the time, I was with my son's brother. You know what I'm saying? We went there, and I just looked at him like, oh, shit, what the hell you doing over here? Yeah,
that might have been Swill's last night, man. Because that's where it was.
Yeah. That was my little dude, man.
So being in Virginia and coming across these people that you would build relationships with, and hearing the music and seeing the movement, what would become ultimately Crew THIK, you know what I'm saying? How did that look to you, man? As far as situations that you saw in New York, did you think that Crew THIK had a chance? I mean,
oh hell, man, y'all niggas was crazy. What? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story, right? This is how crazy. And this is a situation I didn't even never knew it was going on. I remember going up to what label was that? I want to say it's not Elektra. It wasn't Elektra. I forgot the label was at. But anyway, I was up there with Antoine Marchand and my man Jim Nice. Antoine Marchand is Foxy's older brother, and I remember this call. I was up there playing some beats because I had some Knots beats with me, and they was looking for some. They were looking for some shit for actually Nas project. So we up there. I'm playing some joints, and I remember me calling Rapp. Right, and I'm like, yo, nigga, what you up to? And he's like, yo, I'm chilling, man. I said, yo, I'm up in this label, man. Yo, because matter of fact, they were trying to get Nas to do a joint with Chuck. So I called Rapp. I'm like, y'all can make that happen. Let me call my man right now. But I didn't know that there was some type of altercation. So I called Rapp. He's like, yo, I said, I said, my man trying to get me for Nas to do a joint with Chuck. And Rob made some funny comment. I laughed, but I had them on the speakerphone. But I ain't know that there was a conflict. So I'm like, yo, what's up with your man? And he's like, yo, what's up with your man? I'm like, who my man? But that never went down. But that's how deep I was with you guys. It was like, damn. I could actually call dudes. I'm like, yo, this is my man right here. I could call, and that was a true story. I was right up in the record label, and I called Rob to try to get a feature because they was trying to get Chuck and Nas to do something, but I didn't know that at that time the whole Common thing was going on. And I'm saying, so
yeah, that was crazy, and that was something that Jay-Z put into play. You know what I'm saying? That nobody really knew. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect to the families and shit, man. I'm gonna just leave it like that. But yeah, I never knew that, Swift. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you shared some stories with me, but now we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right. Yeah, real shit, man.
But I wasn't privy to none of that because I stay out of a lot of people's stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So when me and you build, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now, because I never knew when Jay threw that thought, like, yo, homie, you know what I'm saying? But the funny thing, I never met Chuck.
That's crazy, bro. Are you
never met Chuck? Bro? For real?
I've been around everybody. I never met Chuck
from Glen Gardens.
I'm telling you, I've been about Arnie E, anybody you could think of. I've been around everybody, but I never met Chuck. Maine, my brother Maine, he talked about him, and then of course Cash, but I never met son.
That's crazy, bro. I never knew that.
Yeah, and everybody he hung around and been around, I know every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? But I never met son. That's crazy. And they're like, son, you don't know son?
So you come to Virginia, you fucking, you know what I'm saying, you had a legendary battle with Plex, shut him the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? And y'all joined forces, and musically, man, you just connected. You know what I'm saying? You saw the whole Crew Think movement. I never knew the Nas story. That's a great piece of information. You know what I mean? But you came across us. Now let me ask y'all this. You know what I'm saying? How did y'all meet as far as you, Jay Swift, and Kamal? How did y'all meet each other?
Plex.
Yeah, Plex. Like we was early, like before. Yeah. Like I said, I was around solo, and I was the first. So I met Jay Swift early on. You know what I'm saying? That's how I knew all the New York cats. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, East New York. I was Latif and Wiz and everybody. Like speaking of such, I want to know. You ever watch Doggy Diamonds?
I seen some of his stuff. I think my son
was a guy up there from East New York called Kareem Johnson. Do you know him?
I gotta see his face. A lot of cats
he used to tell some New York, East New York stories, and I'm like, it sounds like some of the stories I was familiar with, because I remember being around through y'all during that era. He was talking about the early 90s. But I had to bring this up, you know what I'm saying? Speaking about AZ, I know that's your brother, because one of my young disciple brothers, when I was being studied by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, up in Bushwick, Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? And then also, I lived in the Tab in Newport News off of 25th Street. But my brother Idris, he'll bring this up over the past 30 years. You remember the time you was up in Brooklyn, and you would call down to Virginia with AZ on the phone, and we would battle with the knowledge, because y'all was 5%ers. And I was an Ansar, Nuwapian. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably accurate, because I was known with doing stuff like that, especially when
I used to bang on y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? With the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You and AZ.
Yeah,
And my man
probably was
addressed.
Shabar. It probably was Shabar there too. Shabar probably was
Yeah,
because Shabar.
it was like three or four of y'all up there on the line. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I was banging on y'all niggas. 5%. Come on, man. 5%.
And it's funny you say that, bro. And I'm gonna give you kudos because, through my trials and tribulations in life, it circled back to 360 because you gotta remember the lesson the gods of earth come from for the temple. So even though the gods in the earth was basically a stepping stone from people who didn't believe in Christianity, you know what I'm saying? So it was pretty much a knowledgeable thing that in most cultures that there was a way for a lot of people to escape from. So the elders who actually put the information out there was like, yo, there's no spook, there's blah, 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 this, down the third. And then, so you have other brothers that would get that information and share with other people, but there was a lot of false information. To now, most of the brothers that I speak to that came from the nation of God and earth, including myself, is actually Muslims. Like now, for me, I study more science, which is still Muslims. You know what I'm saying? What they would call Muslims instead of Muslims. But, that way of life also connects with the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So what you said, circle back 360, like now people get it, the Malachi Z. York information, like, wow, he was ahead of his time. So like now people starting to catch up because back then we didn't know. So now we getting to know, like, damn, the stuff that son was saying back then is relevant to what it is today. And that's why a lot of people is paying homage to him now because it's like they caught up.
So with your relationship that's deep. With your relationships that you built in the industry, and you know what I'm saying, because you connected to the streets and the fucking industry. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Heavy, not just surface level. I'm talking about heavy. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to ask you is, and this for those youngins that might be listening, or artists or producers. You know what I'm saying? What's the best advice that you ever got, as far as dealing with this music, and where did it come from?
Being authentic, man. Being yourself. So, and never burn bridges. Whatever you do, don't burn no bridge, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to be wrong and accept it. A lot of cats got their pride and egos, and that's what kills them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be wrong. Everybody want to be right. So, for me, I was able to juggle both. A lot of times I'm not right, and I could take that. Like, damn, but I see what you're saying. That's why I want the same thing with what bro just said, like, as far as, the way of life. You know what I'm saying? How now it came back, and now people starting to catch up. Back then, we was hard-bodied, like, nah. But you got some people that still living into that dimension, even if, because at the end of the day, it's about being sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? Having a nation. The gods and nation, that flag is not universal. They say it's universal, but what nation comes with that? What nation represent that flag? Only in the urban community it is. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Muslims. You see the Muslim flags all over, Morocco, all that. And this is why I said, man, brothers got to start paying more attention. And this is why it's important that you have to learn your history, because if you don't know where you came from, you're never going to know where you're going. And that's one thing that I kept finding. I always kept in the books, and I always kept learning more and more stuff. And again, I learned from a lot of great people, Matty C, Sean C, all these cats that I built rapport with, they schooled me, and that's why I could apply it to other people. I had conversations where people would get mad, like, yo, how you taking your artists, the artists that you have, why you taking them to the label? Because I want to educate them. I don't want to leave them in the dark to say, okay, I want them to feel like I'm better than them. No, so when I was taking them to the labels, I was educating them. And that right there was able to allow me to build better relationships with a lot of people, because I wasn't trying to leave them in the dark. I was educating them at the same time that things was going on.
It's certain people that's part of Crew THIK, but then also, like, man, you part of Crew THIK too. How do you feel about being part of Crew THIK, being affiliated, being associated, like you one of us? And do you feel that way? Do you see yourself as part of Crew THIK?
Yo, bro, let me say something.
And your influence on us.
I think it's beyond Crew THIK. I think first and foremost is about the genuine love, the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And then with that came Crew THIK. So me having that type of genuine love for you guys, and y'all having it for me, is an honor, because again, like, I treat everybody like they my brother. You know what I'm saying? I actually would go to war for my own physical brother. You know what I'm saying? For my brothers outside of my mother. You know what I'm saying? So that that always been a blessing and humbly respect for my side to you guys, because no matter what, I always felt like I was connected, and I was a part of Crew THIK because of the fact of that, you know, giving Plex records, you know, putting them on the drum loops, put them, you know what I'm saying, hand raps, and I'm like, yo, these dudes is crazy. So yeah, man, it's so much history, you know what I'm saying? Even down to meeting Danger, I'm like, yo, son, it's crazy. Yeah, I already knew, come on, you was already nice, but when I heard Ryan, when I heard E and all that, I didn't even, again, I never knew these dudes raps, you know what I'm saying? I always just knew them for getting money dudes or just hanging out, you know what I'm saying? So to hear them rap, you know, it was mind blowing, man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
That shit's so real. That shit's so real, bro. Man. I appreciate that shit so much because, you know, through the years, bro, even up until now, you know, if I call you for anything, bro, you right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. I'm talking about to this day, bro, from back then. You know what I'm saying? Right now, nigga, when I hit your line, you pick up. Danger was good with you, and I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you so much for coming up here, you know what I'm saying, to let the people know, because you really don't do a lot of talking, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So we and Plex either, you know what I'm saying? So I want to thank everybody that come and chop it up with me and my homie, you know what I'm saying, about some of these stories. Now, getting into this killer tape, because we're going to button this up, you know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to circle back with you, you know what I'm saying? Getting into this killer tape at a time where Crew THIK is fucking buzzing, you know what I mean? You got Chuck in the league going crazy. We going crazy with the music. It's shit going on, inner family shit, you know what I'm saying? But we chose to reach out to you to record this piece of fucking history, bruh. But what do you remember about that time? And we came to you to do the Niggas Better Act Right fucking killer tape, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when y'all was recording, man, I was like, yo, I don't, cause remember it was subliminal. I didn't get the whole full thing. So, but when I heard that time was running out, shit, I was like, yo, who the fuck these niggas is talking about? Like, these niggas about to ruffle some feathers, man. But then later on, I'm like, that it was, yo, that tape, it was definitely an honor of having you guys at the crib recording, you know, going off ideas, you know, y'all came with the beats, you know what I'm saying? It was like, but the lyrics, I think y'all was ahead of y'all time, because I never actually heard the shit y'all was spitting with people that I actually knew in Virginia. Y'all was way ahead of y'all time, you know what I'm saying? So, that history alone just bring back like, damn, I remember being in that motherfucking bedroom, bed right there, MP, ASR 10, the computer, and the mic was in the closet. Like y'all was, y'all
and your son
y'all
was
coming there dancing, just shit.
Yeah.
Nah, that was incredible.
Or he'd be sitting on the edge of the
while y'all recording the shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the scenes. I got the least speakers on the thing. Yo, son,
that was incredible. History, man. That was incredible piece of work, bro.
Y'all was taking niggas' heads off. I never seen the shit y'all was kicking. It was just, I'm like, yo, these dudes, I don't know who they talking about, but these cats was crazy, man. But later on, I found out a lot of the stuff that had
it was
transitioned to other things.
it was done that way, you know what I'm saying, out of respect and love for our brothers. Like, you know, even the people that the records were, you know what I'm saying, speaking to, they was on the killer tape too, talking back to us, because we recorded a portion with you. Then we went and got the music that they was recording and put the shit up there too, bro. Like this shit was too real. You know what I'm saying?
So but wasn't even hating.
Yeah, but the way we did it, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, in a manner like you just said, Swift. If a nigga don't know us and is fans, they not listening to that shit like, oh, these niggas getting that. They don't even know. I just want to say, man, it was an honor working with you in that capacity. That was some of the best work for, because we knocked that shit out, nigga. We was running through them joints.
Yeah, for sure. You know I was mad excited, man, because, you know, this, like, I never heard that lyrical content that y'all was bringing. I heard it on that tape, like, because, again, I heard Rod E. They was dope. They had their own little style, you know what I'm saying? They was dope. But I didn't hear them to the capacity of how y'all was coming on that killer tape. That killer tape made me really like, oh, like these cats is serious, man.
Yeah, we was fighting for our life, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For real, man. So, yeah, man, Jay Swiftz, you know what I'm saying? legendary fucking producer. If y'all don't know, man, go do your fucking homework. You know what I mean?
Legendary, man.
Papoose has been in the news over the last year or so for other things, but musically, man, this dude has always been fucking incredible, lyrically unmatched, you know what I'm saying? Dope ass MC, man, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know the K Slay situation that you said, and me and Ty Gracie, we did a project with K Slay called Guns R Us. So in my mind with that alphabetical slaughter shit, we just was trying to connect the dots. But after you explaining what you said and me hearing Pap interview, I gotta talk back to Lens and see that he get the shit from Papoose.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? There's actually a song that DR did, the alphabetical slaughter. He just never put it out. You know what I'm saying? Then before then, there was a record that Pat put out called Dogs Roll with Dogs. So those songs, I have a copy of some of the songs in my storage of a lot of early release Papoose stuff, because it got to a point where Pat would call me like, "Damn nigga, you still let me see me a copy of that," because I had a Nasarima Dream before it even got, because he did a Nasarima Dream, which is America Backwoods. He did that way before the world heard it today. I've been heard that. I actually had the physical tape of it. You know what I'm saying? And then he changed a lot of it. So when he did release it, you know, it wasn't the same. I like the first version he did when I had the cassette tape of it. It was dope. But yeah, Pap is crazy, man. And that's why when I heard him, I knew that, you know, I wanted him to be a part of the team, you know what I'm saying? And it got to a little conflict with me and DR had because of that, because I put him on a record with Jinx. And that record took him, you know, that record went from there to G-Rap and open up doors to other things, you know what I'm saying? Because people used to always say Pap sound like Big L, but Pap had his own little sound and style, but he was always crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
he got a joint that he just released, man, about a month ago called Bars on Wheels, man.
Yeah.
Go check that shit out. It's probably about a 12-minute video, nigga. It's like, you know, he blended this shit together masterfully. You know what I'm saying? He's murdering this shit, man. I thought that shit was so dope and creative, and he's always been hip hop, bro. You know what I'm saying? To the fucking definition, man. Shout out to Papoose. We love you, bro.
Yeah, Pap Pap definitely. You know, but like I said, he's the more broader one. You know what I'm saying? AZ is AZ. You know what I'm saying? I have a rapport, but I haven't. You know, AZ, this who he is, man. Pap, I probably speak to Pap more than AZ. You know what I'm saying? If I need to speak to Pap, but there's a lot of more people than that. I just ain't, you know, just brung them up. But the history is there, man. And like I said, they know. You know what I'm saying? I don't help dudes get placements. You know what I'm saying? I help dudes get on other people's joints. Like, it's stories with 50 Cent before the world even know who you were. Like, it's so much I'm behind. And I don't like that you say the word behind, but it's so much that I was affiliated with that, you know, Amar probably get tested that too. The story about 50 Cent before the world know who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just want to say, people use the terminology, you know what I'm saying, flowers, but at Hard Rap Cafe, man, we just want to give you your fucking turntables, man, while you fucking still alive, nigga.
Shake that, man.
We love you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I love you guys too, man.
You always, you know what I'm saying, held us down, bro, and dealt with music shit and street shit, you know what I'm saying, on some man level shit that a lot of people can learn from, man. People get emotional and make rash decisions, bro. You kept a level head, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciated the love you had for us and for me, and just, you know what I'm saying, the confidence you had in me.
Yo, bro, let me say,
through my career, bro.
I gotta correct you. It's not had, it's still.
Nah, you know what? I appreciate that, bro. Like, trust me, I got some shit bubbling right now, and we gotta talk. We gotta talk when we get off of here.
No doubt. But I'm working on 3 projects right now. I'm finishing, but I always keep beats in this. I'm actually on the computer right now with beats, so I keep clips filled with beats, man. You know what I'm saying? So anytime, y'all already know, man. Just call me, man. I'll send y'all a clip of some joints. But then, you know, I got a whole production crew now. So we call the specialists. It's me, it's my son, it's my man DJ Stress, it's my man Static. Static is crazy. Then you have Dr. Butcher, G-Rap Dr. Butcher. Then you have Black Card. Then you got Ilya Roswell. Then you got my man Funk Star. That's the specialist.
Listen, before we get off of here, bro, I want to ask you this. My fault, Smoke. Who you fucking with right now? Whether it's locally, you know what I'm saying? Do you see anything, you know what I mean, that catch your ear, or even commercially or industry wise? You know what I'm saying? What you be listening to? What Jay Swiftz be tapped into nowadays?
What I'm tapping to, my own shit.
Right. What you think about Griselda, or you know what I'm saying,
that's
or guys like this?
My son fuck with them. That's those teams he fuck with. If you look at Griselda, you see J.R. Swift on all his shit. You know what I'm saying, all their stuff. But I like them cats, man. But for me, I'm from the old school, so I'd like to give kudos to the people who I came up with. Not saying that I'm displacing those cats that's already out, because there's a lot of talented dudes, but I'm always gonna pick my peoples first, because I know the talent that they have. So I would say y'all guys, you know, I got my girl Keith Turner, I got my man Ray Luger from out in B-More, I got my man Dre, you know what I'm saying, coming up. So there's a lot of cats that I will pick them up first before I pick anybody else, because we still in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? So I'm make sure those cats get their flowers, and then when they get to that level, I'll be bigging up the next people.
Nah, real shit, bro. Yeah,
but
man.
There, man.
That was go ahead, Smoke.
I was gonna say, man, we gotta definitely circle back around and get the homie Liz,
definitely
on the phone. But also your son, man.
Make that happen, huh?
Yeah, J.R. Swift, man. Because I've been seeing.
Let me know when y'all want to do it.
I've been seeing J.R. Swift, nigga. We want to do it right now. As soon as you talk to him, let him know we ready.
Because I want to know from his perspective, like soaking up all that game, you know, just sitting back like a fly on the wall. You feel me? Like his story, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. That ain't nothing but a plug. I can anybody I want. I can get y'all to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said something about a Baltimore cat, Luger.
Ray Luger, yup.
Ray Luger. Listen, check out. It's a nigga that my youngin Kilroy. You know what I'm saying? My son fuck with. The nigga name is Word Around Town. This nigga's a fucking fool, bro. When you get a chance, you know what I'm saying, I want to give him a shout out. That nigga had said some shit, man, on a record he did with my son. I called my niggas and repeated the fucking line, nigga. I'm like, yo, this nigga crazy, but
it's a lot of cats that be more than J-Roll, yeah. All them cats, there's a lot of cats out there that be more. That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, man.
Yeah, you said Los. You said King Los?
King Los.
Yeah, Los from out the B-More, yeah. A lot of them cats out there, man. You just don't be hearing, but you go out there, you hear about them dudes.
Right.
You know
but see, they wasn't like that back in the 80s or the 90s.
Right.
My cousin is from. He was my first rap partner from Baltimore. But he used to live in California, just like my cousin from Brooklyn, Kelsey, when I first DJ. They used to live in Cali in the early 80s before I moved to New York in the late 80s. But he from Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hills, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he faded out just like my cousin Kelsey with the music in the late 80s, and I kept it pushing, you know what I'm saying? And then I met THIK. But for a long time, they was known, I don't know, it wasn't house music, but was it jungle or some type of music that they got in Baltimore that they was known for? But they was never really known, just like DC, they was never really known.
DC was known for the go-go.
The go-go, yeah, go-go.
Yeah.
But
when I came out of VA, that was big down here too, the go-go, because a lot of DC rules.
But Baltimore, they had like jungle. It was something called jungle or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But they were never known for MCs. But now you're saying that in this generation, this day and era, they got a lot of dope MCs.
Man, Kilroy out there. Them niggas foolish, bro.
Of course, nephew.
Foolish, bro.
Of course,
them niggas foolish with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of cats out there.
Look. There you go, right behind your shoulder.
That's him right there, nigga. We was in Miami, nigga. Turned all the way the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Richard P, y'all go check that video out. But yeah, look, man, this has been another episode of Hard Rap Cafe. You know what I mean? With myself, Rocky Dennis, my co-host Smoke God, and our guest, man, my fucking main man, Jay Swiftz. Y'all go do your fucking homework on Jay Swiftz, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot more shit to bring y'all. I love you,
love
brother.
You too, man. Love you, brothers too, man.
For stopping
y'all already know. Y'all need anything, just let me know, man. I'm here, man. My line always open, man.